Guys, I'm Nala and this is Vlog 24. And this is just basically a November recap. November recap. What's crazy? I feel like I don't even really remember anything that went down in November. I know for a fact I did not make like my November overview paper like I usually do with my word and mission and then scripture. Like I didn't do that. And it's crazy because I've posted like several videos this month, but like when I think about like what really happened in November, I can't really think about anything. All I can think about is like the last couple of days and how many different versions of myself I have like grown into, and like that's what I want to share with you guys. Please excuse my voice. I'm trying to stay hydrated. But what I do want to share is something that like my eyes has like really opened up to. Like, okay, so this past weekend I went to Orlando with my dad. He wanted to take a family trip to Disney World. It's my daughter's first time going to Universal Studios. So we went. Mind you, I didn't really want to go because I felt like I've been working so hard. I'm not ready to do vacay yet. Like I want to, like October, I felt like I was really in a place where like I started building for myself. So it's like I wanted to keep up with that momentum. Like I really don't want to slow down. But there's still like some people pleasing aspects in me that I'm trying to like prune out. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason because I'm glad that I went, right? So I went and we had an amazing time, had a really good time. I'm glad I got to see my brother, my stepmom, my sister, my dad, and, you know, of course, my daughter got to come along and we had such a great time. And what I really wanted to speak on was like, and I knew that I needed to go to Orlando. Like, not that I knew that beforehand, but like in going, I see why God had me go. Like and I just want to speak on like when you think like, oh, I'm not perfect and I'm still in these type of ways. Like I felt like I was being a people pleaser by going because I didn't want to go. Like I don't feel like going on no family trips, but like the people pleasing, like the part that I'm trying to work on and heal is actually what benefited me. So though you may think that, oh, I'm not perfect and I'm falling back into my old ways or I'm failing, God actually uses what's like our shortcomings for our good, right? So I go to Orlando. And mind you, I'm from DC, so I'm from like an urban area. So I know what like a lot of people looks like. Granted, DC is still like a small city. And then moving to Jacksonville, to an even bigger city, like one of the biggest cities in the US, it's still like your mind still doesn't grasp how many people in the world there actually are. So when I get to Orlando and we get into Disney World, there's just so many people. And it's like your mind knows that. But when you actually like physically see it, like in person, it's like, this is only in a city. Like I can't imagine in a whole state or in a whole tri area or even in a whole country. Like just in Disney World, period, I felt like it was a real humbling experience. Let me tell you why. For one, you like the ego, and like, I mean this in the most respectful way. Like I'm speaking plainly, like just plainly. Like you're nobody. Like, and I don't mean that in like a negative way. It's just that we really think like, oh, I'm that B, or like, I don't know. I think I've just seen like where I've grown, like even just being on IG and like, there's just being IG girls or, you know, like people like just showing off their body, or even it could be guys too, like just showing off their latest fit. And it's just like, there's just so many people in the world. Like if it's not you, it could be somebody else. And it just brought my mind to like, you know, I mean, I've seen some encouraging sermons on here about like how if you're not going to do what God called you to do, God will raise somebody else up. So you might as well be obedient. Like even in the story of Esther, when Mordecai was telling Esther, like, how do you know you know, like, okay, like you can't escape the fate of the Jews. Like the king's going to find out you're a Jew. And how do you know that you didn't come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Like if you're not going to do something for your people, then all God's going to do is raise somebody else up. And it just, I don't know why, but just to keep it a stack with y'all, like I'm just being real. Like I'm not perfect. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna cut to the chase. I just seen so many like big booties like off no gay stuff, like for real, just because like I'm a woman with a curvaceous body, so I obviously like I have eyeballs, and it's not like, oh my god, her butt's so fat I want to touch it. It's just like, wow, like, and God just be making like women, like he just be making men too, like God is just like a real live artist. Like it was just so many women in there that are just beautiful, and there was just so many men in there that was just beautiful. It's just like, it's just so many people. And I know like looks don't mean anything, but when I seen when I seen that, it just made me think of like, dag, like everybody, like a lot of people really be on IG like selling their bodies, like, oh, you should pick me or you should choose me because like my butt fat. And it's like, yeah, but so is everybody else's. Like what can you like really do? And I don't know, it just opened up my eyes. And then another thing that it opened up my eyes to was just like, okay, Disney World tickets are, I think like a minimum, even with a discount, it's like 160, like, so between 160 and 200. So everybody in here paid that amount. And what I was thinking about was like, dang, you don't know if somebody is like me making 32K a year, or if these are like millionaires in there, but everybody had to pay, you know, like over close to $200 for a ticket just to get in here. And I was just looking at how many people were in there. And for some reason, it just made me like, I don't know why I had so many revelations, but all of a sudden, I just was cool off of like rushing a relationship. Like, yeah, I know that God, like, I know that God can do it. And I know that like I will have a partner, but like just the praying and like, oh God, send me somebody. Like, I really want a person, you know, like for my purpose. It's just, and maybe that's what God wanted me to see. Like, it's really no rush. Like, I got you. And what I got from that was basically like, God can raise anybody up. Like anybody in here, like you don't know what a millionaire looks like. And not that I'm focusing on money, because I'm in there making 32K a year and I'm not a millionaire, but you know, that's still a $200 ticket. But my point is that like God can raise anybody up. Like if you think that you can't find somebody, oh, it's no good women out here, or no, it's no good men out here. Like what did God do to Paul? He literally like blinded him for 3 days, met him in the middle of the street on the way to Damascus, and Paul had a life-changing experience in less than 24 hours. Like he went from killing Christians to being for Christians overnight. So don't think that there's somebody, that there's no good people out. Like your husband right now could be thugging like in the streets, or your wife right now could be a Buddhist or a Muslim. Like you just don't know. It's like God is going to change their life. Like, and my thing is, I don't know why just seeing all those people just like open my eyes. Like there's just no, like my person could be anybody in the world. And then it was just so many races, like people from California, people from Chicago. I mean, my folks are from Maryland and DC. I'm, well, living in Florida. So it's just people like from everywhere meeting in one city. And it was just really cool to see like so many people in one spot. And it's just like, and then you see people like all different types of people. And it's like, you really cannot judge a book by its cover. Like God could raise anybody up. Like anybody could get chose. Like anybody, like what I saw, what am I trying to explain? It says everybody in there bought a $200 ticket and everybody looks like normal people. Like, don't think that it's like, there's just no like one, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. All I know is that, like, seeing all those people just changed my perspective. Like, it just made, like, it made me feel like not special. Like, okay, looks don't mean anything. Like, you really have to be, like, you, like, even if you see like all these people like on YouTube or even on Instagram with thousands or millions of followers, it's like there's so many people in the world, like, and there's not that many. There is a lot, but it's like it's really like a pyramid, like a triangle. Like, if you want it, and like everybody wants it, and if it was really easy to get, like everybody would be doing it, but it's just so many people that's like regular. So it's like, if you really want something, like you really have to outshine yourself, because those, seeing like all those millions of people, it's like everyone is different and special. Like, nobody is the exact same. And it's like you really have to like grind. Like, not everybody has the willpower, not everybody has the determination, like not everybody has the work ethic. Like, everybody wants to shine, everybody wants to be on top, but like, what really makes you different? And I think that's what I'm getting at. Like, seeing all those people made me like reflect on myself. Like, dang, like I'm sitting here thinking like I'm special. Oh, God has called me, God has chosen me. God could choose anybody. Like, God can raise anybody up, like, for real. So it was that. And then I remember going to the pool with my daughter, and like the pool was so nice. The weather was perfect. I was in like a nice little white two-piece. My daughter was just enjoying herself. And I'm like, for 5 seconds, I was just like, I mean, like, it was, I remember being like in a negative mindset. And it wasn't even negative. It was, I remember just for a quick second, I was just like I wish like more friend, like I could have like friends, or like maybe like I wish I had a man to like enjoy this with. And then like my like God just spoke to me like, no, like this is what you prayed for. And though it's just in Orlando, just good weather, I'm happy with my body. It's beautiful water. My daughter is happy. Like, I remember like living like just poor, or I remember being homeless, or I remember not knowing how much my next paycheck was going to be. And I remember, I can't wait to get rich, and me and my daughter, we're going to go to Dubai, we're going to go to Jamaica, like just me and my baby girl. Like, I'm going to take my baby girl all around the world. Like, I'm going to really show her the world, and we just want to enjoy like seeing all of God's creation, like all around the world. Like, I really just want to travel and have my daughter like experience that with me. And so even though I was in Orlando, like God, I remember God just putting it into my spirit. He was like, but this is the feeling. Like, just soak in this feeling, because when you pray and when you manifest, like, you have to wait for those things in expectation. Like, you have to act as if those things already are. So just sitting at the pool, you know, in a nice swimsuit, and my daughter's just swimming with her goggles, and I splashing everywhere, and it's just beautiful weather, and I didn't have to pay for a thing. I didn't have to pay for the rental car. I didn't have to pay for the ticket. Like, my dad paid for all that stuff. And I remember God just telling me like, this is exactly what you wanted. Like, I'm your Father in heaven. I provide for you, just like my earthly dad paid for the tickets, paid for the rental car for me to drive to Orlando, you know, pay for the hotel, the Airbnb, or whatever. Like, just enjoy this moment. Like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. Like, this feeling, what you're feeling at this very moment, is what you had always prayed for. So just soak in this, because this is only the beginning. Like, I remember sitting at the pool, just me and my daughter, like thinking like, dang, if I had a boyfriend, or if, you know, like I had a best friend, or if, you know, because my family, they wanted to stay in. Like, my daughter wanted to go to the pool. I didn't want to go to the pool. My daughter wanted to go to the pool. I was like, you know what? You want to go to the pool? Like, this is your vacation too. Like, have it up, little sis. So I took her to the pool, but I remember like just being in it, like for a quick second, like ungrateful, like, no, I want more. And God like corrected me, like, no, this is what you prayed for. Like, enjoy this. And I was like, you're absolutely right. Because 2 months ago, even a month ago, I never had imagined, like, feel like that bliss in that moment was like, wow, I remember praying for times like this to rhyme like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just real cool. And I was just like thanking God. Like, it was really a moment of gratitude. And so I just wanted to share that, like, though I initially didn't want to go on a trip and I felt like I gave into the trip to please other people, God really, like, when I say y'all really need to pray, Lord, let your will be done. Lord, let your will be done over my life. You know, Lord, have your way. You know what I mean? Like, he really will do that, because even when you feel like you're failing, like, oh, I'm falling short, I'm giving into what other people want, or these are one of the traits that I'm trying to work on, it actually benefited me because it works out for my goodness according to God's plan. Because now I was able to be in a certain frequency of receiving and being in gratitude and just being just walking into the threshold that God is going to actually take me. So the other point that I have was, after that trip, I really felt like I'm stepping into my power as I recognize my value more. Like, so, over the past couple of days, hold on, let me pause this. Okay. But yeah, so like I was saying, ever since I left on my trip and then experiencing that and then being back home, I've just had like this level of peace that is beyond my understanding. Like, and I noticed that it's because I wasn't like around like certain people. Like, I I notice, like, when I get around certain people, like, my attitude is like flustered, or I get like more stressed. But like, I haven't talked to, I'll be transparent, whatever, because maybe other people are going through this. I haven't really talked to my mom since Friday, because we left for the trip on Friday, and I didn't text her like, okay, we're on our way back or whatever, because I don't really like, that's just a whole nother story. But I've just been at such a peace, and like, for the longest time I have been like contemplating like whether I should like distance myself from her, because she has like narcissistic tendencies, and I don't really, basically, and this goes for everybody. I don't want to be, especially now that I'm approaching 30, and then it's like the new year. I don't want to be around anybody that just does not value me, and that does not like push me to be like better, or even support me, or like even show me love. Like, I'm just really done with that. Like, I'm just at a point where it's like, I just want to change my number. Like, if you're not pouring into me, or if you're not like supporting me, or like I said, like, if you don't see my value, what is the point of me being linked? Because like I said, I feel like God is taking me somewhere, especially now that like I got to experience Orlando. It's somebody cutting the grass. But now that I got to experience that, like in the Disney park, like, just that certain realization, that epiphany is just like, I'm just ready to go into everything that God like has for me. Like, I feel that prosperity. Like, I remember sitting in a pool, and I just felt like so prosperous. Like, over the summer, I didn't know how I was going to pay my light bill. Like, I remember not knowing how I would get to work. And now here I am, kicking my feet up in a pool, in a two-piece, on a whole vacation that I didn't have to drop a dime for. And it's like, and I just remember like getting that message like in my spirit, like, as like my Father in heaven, like, this should be your life. Like, this is what you deserve. Like, this is what I'm drawing you into. And it was just so beautiful. And all I could say was just, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Like, the highest praise to the Most High. Like it was just such a touching like moment for me. And so, like, knowing where I want to go, and like going into I would say like certain levels for me is scary because like there's no manual. I don't have a support system. I'm literally, I feel like walking on the water. Like it's God with his hand out. Like there's no one saying, this is what you should do, or, this is some advice. It's literally like, no, it's a spirit led walk. And I don't have, besides the channels that I watch on YouTube, like I don't have a village or like a support group of friends that I can, hey, what's your advice? What's some guy? And I'm looking for that. Like I'm praying for that. But so it's like really scary to just be like, well, am I doing the right thing? Especially since I'm trying to be like a better person. And since I don't have any guidance, of course, I'm sitting here wondering like, should I let my mom go? Like, should I just cut ties? Because everybody can't go with you. Like, you don't choose who your blood is. You know what I mean? And I don't think that it's fair that like, just because people are your blood means that they have to have a place in your life when those people don't support you or don't show love to you or don't recognize your value. And sometimes I feel like God blinds your value to certain people, because if they really saw the crown on your head, like who God really called you to be, they would just stick on, like just to say, yeah, I was there when you when you didn't have. Because God knows the hearts of men. It doesn't matter if they're your mom, if they're your dad, if they're your brother or your sister. They're not you, and only God knows their heart. And that goes for your boyfriend, your husband, your kids, your mom, your dad, your cousins, your friends, your coworkers. Only, like, you can be married for someone for 20 years and still not even really know like their heart. And that's why it's so important to seek God first, so you can be equally yoked. And that's why I feel like I can't marry an unbeliever. Like, I'm really like stuck on Christ. Like, I could not marry somebody who does not believe in Jesus Christ, because like, I don't know your heart. And I know that if you're after God, then you're going to be after the heart of God. Like, I at least can trust that God will do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if I test the fruits, like the spirit of people, and I don't feel confident that they're for me, like literally like for me, like defending me, on my team, like, protecting me, loving me, I'm going to cut ties. And I don't care if you're my mom or you're my dad or whatever. Like, bro, I'm almost 30. I refuse to like let my life go down the drain because other people want to drag me down. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I can choose to become a better person. But if other people don't choose to become a better person, like that frequency is not going to like bring me down, because you're grown. Like, you can make those choices, and I'm not a little kid anymore. So, and I low key feel like I'm afraid that this is a high that's like gonna go away. But it's like, but the other part of me is like, no, like, this is your new life now. Like, this is real life, your new life now. And I remember like asking God for a confirmation, like, should I cut ties with like certain people? Like, like, should I realize, like, get a new number and start over? And I felt like this was my sign, because just the peace that I have, like, I really feel like I can accomplish anything. Like, I'm so excited to do all that God has called me to do. Like, I don't feel like I have any limits. Like, I feel completely limitless. I feel like anything is possible. And why? Because God has already gave me a preview. He already showed me like, this is what I have in store for you. And then he already kind of like pruned my mind. Like, when I seen all those people, like, there's a million people out here. You're either going to do the work or you're not, because there's other people. There's just others. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about like people in the world, like people that are not Christians, they view you like with the exterior. So like, for example, Saweetie, like, she I think she had a video talking about pretty girl privilege, but she is a very pretty girl. So people kind of already like are drawn like to like, like, let's be real, like that's like a real thing. So it's like, but there could be like, so if Saweetie wanted to be like an ugly person, like if she had an ugly personality or something like that, there could be 1,000 other Saweeties, like 1,000 other pretty girls that could come in and like take her position, being in the music industry. Like everybody wants that opportunity to, display their talents or whatever. But, between her looks and between her passion, because you don't have to be the greatest at what you do, but when you're chosen, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that, but a lot of people, I see, people talk trash or whatever. A lot of people say, oh, Saweetie doesn't have any musical talent, and everyone is entitled to their opinion. But guess what? If baby says she's not going nowhere, like this is her spot, then she's not going anywhere. She wants to continue making music. That's what she's going to do. And that's the same thing that I realized when I went to Orlando and to Disney, when I seen all those people. Like, okay, there's a billion other beautiful women, like if I'm not going to do my part and do what God has called me to do, many are called, but few are chosen. I'm going to work hard. And so being there helped me realize, like, it just opened up my eyes to, like, I want to put forth the best that I have. Like all these videos that I have, that I just record them and I just upload them, because I'm not really good at the video editing thing. Like I literally now want to look at editing tutorials and transitions and like just how to edit videos. Like I don't know, but it's like I want to give God my best, because anybody could just upload a video and people do or don't watch it. But it's like, how much energy are you going to put forth to what God has given you? Like if I'm serving God, because these videos, yes, they're for the people, but they're also what I feel like God has called me to do. And it's like, how much of my best am I going to give? Like, I don't care if I'm embarrassed. Like, I don't care if I stutter. I don't care if I have a pimple. I don't care if I'm not good at video editing. I'm going to try, because I want to be obedient to what God has called me to do. And I feel like God will elevate me. God will get me where I need to go. Though I just want to do what God wants me to do. I just want my bills paid and a Cuban link and like new teeth. Like I feel like I don't, and a new car. I feel like I don't ask too much. But if God makes me a millionaire, then that's his prerogative. Like that's on him, because that's how he wants to bless me. Just like I got a trip at the last minute and I didn't have to like pay for it. It was just like, well, just come. So it's just like, I just want to, if I feel like I'm called to do something, so I just want to give my best. So that's what, like, I just wanted to share. Like, over the weekend, I've gotten like a huge amount of peace. I feel like I've seen the prosperity, and now I just need to be patient. Like, I just want to, like, I'm not worried about a relationship. Like, I know God will call up a king for me, even if he isn't like where I am. I know that God will do it. Like, my faith is like totally unwavering. Like, it just is. So that's my November recap. No edits. I'm gonna edit the next one, because I just want y'all to see like the real. But from here on out, like when y'all see my videos edited and just like a professional looking, that's just me trying to give God my best. So if I don't upload as frequently, it's because I'm taking my time to learn stuff that I don't know how to do. Like I said, I don't have like anybody teaching me anything. I don't have resources or I don't have that type of stuff. Like I literally have to do everything on my own. So, but doing things on my own, I just want to give my best, because I represent the Most High. I represent God. I represent Jesus Christ. So if God gives me his best, then I want to give him my best, and that's giving you all my best as well. Like everything that you do unto the Lord. That's what the word says. And so that's all that I wanted to share with you guys. Sorry for making the video so long. I'm going to try to start editing my videos like 7 to 12 minutes, like at least. So that's it. I will see you all next time. Love you guys, and I will talk to y'all soon. Deuces.